Tonight we'll tell you about government's big plan to acquire the Fortis hydroelectric dams and how much it will cost. And they were found guilty of killing a business owner during a robbery today. 2 convicted men went to court. We'll have their story. Also, BWS asks for a 20% increase in tariffs. Tonight we'll talk exclusively to the chairman to find out why. Plus, we'll take you to the World Pediatrics Clinic, where 60 children are being seen by foreign specialists. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Every day, the demand on your business gets higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
Ishan Tyrone Sutherland, Bachelor of Science in Biology Education.
The sleepless nights, the long days, the massive sacrifice. There is something in us that is not hypothetical. It has been tested and proven. This defiant, resilient spirit runs through the veins of our people. You come from a long line of fighters and heroes and heroines, and some of them are sitting right here in these bleachers. They had to do so much with so little to get you to where you are today. Success and titles and defeat are imposters. They don't last forever. Who you are deep down inside, now that's forever. Your family is forever. Your community is forever. Love is forever. So love deeply. Love people more than things. Love your family. Love your friends. Love your community. Love your country. Love yourself because you matter. Please give yourself a round of applause.
Hola, soy Abish y en 2011 fui diagnosticada con cáncer de mama. En ese momento de mi vida, nunca antes me había enfrentado a la aterradora posibilidad de morir a los 24 años. Primero pensé, ¿por qué a mí? ¿Por qué a esta edad? Un sinfín de preguntas. Y de pronto, un miedo indescriptible se apoderó de mí. El cáncer se había llevado todo. Ahora elijo ver el cáncer como uno de los mejores regalos que me ha dado la vida. Puedo ver que me dio una segunda oportunidad para tomar decisiones conscientes e informadas. Hoy tengo 30 años y mi cuerpo está libre de cáncer. El cáncer podría llegar a tu vida y tienes que dejar de postergar visitar a un profesional de la salud. Es importante realizarte una exploración clínica de mamas. Gracias a un diagnóstico temprano, hoy puedo invitarte a responder juntas contra el cáncer de mama. Ni una muerte más por cáncer. ¿Y tú? ¿Qué estás esperando?
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
This is how Shine Biro treats the press. Hostile, angry, accusatory, punitive, isolated.
You're a smart guy, but I am smarter. Don't speak as an ignoramus. Who are you? That's not for you to determine, that's for me to determine.
And that's what I'm asking.
I already answered that.
Shine Biro has never had the support of his party colleagues, the media, or his constituents.
Barrow stood at a podium, the table to his right, empty of his party colleagues.
Shine Barrow left in his vehicle and was pelted with eggs.
The people in Mesopotamia don't want you. You came in last. They could have chose you as second place and they didn't.
That's because of how he treats people.
I've heard some horror stories about how people have been mistreated, hollered at, ridiculed.
That is how Shine Biro does politics. Hostile, insecure, weak.
This administration is on a fast track to being an authoritarian government.
This is how Tracy Panton does politics. Engaged, credible, unified. It's time to put an end to the tyranny of Shine Biro. Support a leader people can believe in.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
On Friday, the government is taking a major piece of legislation to the House that could significantly change the energy future of Belize. As we told you last night, government will purchase Fortis's 33% shareholding in BEL. But more importantly, 7 News has confirmed that it will also purchase 3 hydroelectric dams owned by Fortis Belize. That's the Moyehon, Chaleo, and Vaca dams, which together produce more than a third of Belize's energy. Buying those dams and vesting their ownership in the government of Belize or selling it to a related entity like Social Security would be a very big step towards sovereign energy security. And it would also keep the millions of dollars in foreign exchange that BEL currently pays Fortis every year at home. To be sure, a major investment, but at what cost? Sources tell 7 News that to acquire Fortis Belize and the dams, it will cost government over $100 million US. A steep cost, but the company's annual earnings are almost in the tens of millions of dollars. As for the 33% holding in BEL, well, in 2015, the Barrow administration placed the value of those at over 100 million Belize dollars. Today, we are told that the Bersenio administration hopes to buy it for less than 40 million. As we have reported, the company is currently operating at a loss. It all goes to the House on Friday to go through all 3 readings and then to the Senate on Monday for approval. And it's sufficiently important that, hoping for bipartisan support, the Prime Minister went to meet with the leader of the opposition today to outline the acquisition to her. Government and Fortis are expected to make a major joint statement tomorrow. We'll have more details then. They were convicted of killing an elderly businessman during a robbery, and today Brandon Hughes, who is serving a life sentence, and Jose Gomez, who was sentenced to 12 years, were in court trying to have their sentences overturned. The victim was 70-year-old Oscar Rosado, senior of Rosado's Hardware. The pair was convicted in January of 2023 after 2 hours of arguments and submissions in court by attorney Orson O.J. Elrington and David McCoy for the appellants, and Shanisa Smith, as well as DPP Sherilyn Vidal for the Crown. The 3 judges reserved their decision for a later day to be announced. Elrington, who represented Hughes, argued that the conviction was unsafe and that no notes of evidence were produced and provided in the original trial. Additionally, he said that the transcript was incomplete and that they were never provided with a written judgment. Here's how he explained it.
I believe that we were able to put forward to the court the government of our appeal, which is essentially that the conviction against Mr. Hughes would be unsafe because there is no written decision from the judge. Essentially, the written decision would allow for the appellant to be able to, and the Court of Appeal, to determine whether or not the trial judge misdirected themselves in applying certain facts that were not supposed to be applied, in applying evidence that was not supposed to be applied, or misapplying the law. And so our submission was essentially based on the fact that since there is not a written submission, that is grounds, coupled with the fact, of course, that because there is not the necessary evidence, because we don't know what evidence the court relied on, that in combination with those 2 issues would be a fertile ground for the appeal to be allowed.
And after today's proceedings, Rosado's son pleaded with the judges to uphold the conviction and spare his family the heartache.
All I have to say is I'm pleading and I'm asking to the judges that are taking this appeal to uphold the conviction. A retrial, I don't see, this is not a game. This has to do with the feelings of my mother, myself, it's a family. And I heard the person, the lawyer on their side, on the accused, say that he's here because his clients, their lives are in limbo. Thank God for them that their lives are in limbo, they're alive. My dad is dead. My dad cannot ask for an appeal. I cannot ask for an appeal. My dad is dead. A dad, a husband, a grandfather, a friend, a brother, a son. He's gone. I mean, don't drag us again into this. There was enough evidence. I was there. My mom was there. Nothing else. What else do you want? Her seeing everything happen right in front of her face. You cannot question that because there was not a written, what you call it, decision. We were there. We gave everything. The evidence is there. I don't see why drag us into this again. All I ask, too much emotions to go through this all over, especially for my mom. I don't want to see her go through another trial. There's enough evidence, and I say, please, take this into consideration. I mean, these guys are guilty, and let them serve their time. At least they're alive. They're not in another country where they could have gotten the death penalty, you know? All I say to them, in this time, you're locked up, turn yourself, recap, change your life, turn to God, do good. That's all I can say. I can't say much more.
Mr. Rosado, and of course it is, the murder of anybody is absolutely regrettable, and so he's a loved one, and he is absolutely entitled to his emotions and opinion on these matters. However, as legal practitioners, we have to divorce ourselves from the emotions of it, and what we need to ensure and what the Court of Appeal will need to convince themselves of is that whether or not the conviction is a safe one in law. All right, and so ultimately, while it is that you would have a victim, what you would not want is for an innocent person to spend effectively their lives in prison because of a mistake from a judge.
Hughes is eligible for parole after 30 years, while Gomez is after 8 years. We'll take a break now. When we come back, turtle meat is expensive, but it's also illegal. And today in court, it cost the man almost 20 grand. And BWS's executive chairman explains why his company needs a 20% increase in tariffs. Don't go away.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
When working with sheetrock, you need screws that give you quick penetration for a speedy, stable installation. Best Screws, fast frame and fast finish drywall screws are specifically designed for you. Engineered by Best Manufacturing, Best Screws makes every job faster and easier. These screws offer reliable performance with a superior hold. You also save money due to Best Screws affordability. They are cheaper than the leading brands. Get the job done quickly without compromising on strength. For all your drywall installations, get Best Screws Fast Frame and Fast Finish. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
The Social Security Board's new whistleblower reporting system makes it easy and confidential to speak up by reporting misuse of the Social Security services and benefits, including fraud, misconduct, false claims, and more. If you know of any unethical or illegal activity relating to SSB benefits, claims, or personnel, go to ssbspeakup.integrityline.com or use our toll-free hotline 0800-SPEAK-UP, 0800-773-2587. This confidential reporting system is a way for you to report concerns or incidents privately without fear of reprisal. Your submission is confidential and anonymous. The Social Security Board is committed to providing a secure, confidential medium for whistleblowing that promotes organizational accountability and enhances public confidence in our services.
Look here, your kitchen light there and you been in the kitchen. Mama going back in there right now. And the coffee maker? Just to try keep me the coffee warm for later. Where did you know? I'll try to think about what to eat. You know, the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool.
Uh-huh.
For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 socks and 1 shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC, they blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house, and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
There are so many people who are proud of you. Your parents, your guardians, your aunts, your uncles, your siblings, faculty, and friends. They are there too. They share in this achievement. Please give them a bigger round of applause. Graduates, you have a sacred duty, a generational responsibility even. You have to honor those who came before you by standing taller, stronger, go farther, go further, go harder. But stand together for one another. And lastly, but certainly not least, thank God. Always call to Him. He will be there for you.
In the heart of Belize, a battle is being waged, not with weapons, but with choices. When waste is disposed of in unauthorized locations, in our forests, drains, and waterways, along our highways, and in vacant lots, this is illegal dumping. The consequences reach far beyond what we see. Toxic chemicals seep into our groundwater, threatening our drinking water. Disease-carrying mosquitoes breed in abandoned tires, and wildlife mistake our waste for food. For over a decade, the Department of Environment has worked tirelessly to clean up these sites. But they can't do it alone. They need your help, and now taking action is easier than ever. Download the ArcGIS Survey 123 app to your phone. You can report illegal dump sites. The app records the location, allows you to add photos. Simply open the app, allow location access, fill in basic details about the site, add a photo, and submit. Your report helps us protect our communities and natural resources. Every report matters. Every action counts. Stand proud in protecting our nation. Our Belize, our responsibility. Bini.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
This is how Shine Biro treats the press. Hostile, angry, accusatory, punitive, isolated.
You're a smart guy, but I am smarter. Don't speak as an ignoramus. Who are you? That's not for you to determine, that's for me to determine.
That's what I'm asking.
I already answered that.
Shine Barrow has never had the support of his party colleagues, the media, or his constituents.
Barrow stood at a podium, the table to his right, empty of his party colleagues.
Shine Barrow left in his vehicle and was pelted with eggs.
The people in Mesopotamia don't want you. You came in last. They could have chose you as second place and they didn't.
That's because of how he treats people.
I've heard some horror stories about how people have been mistreated, hollered at, ridiculed.
That is how Shine Barrow does politics. Hostile, insecure, weak.
This administration is on a fast track to being an authoritarian government.
This is how Tracy Panton does politics. Engaged, credible, unified. It's time to put an end to the tyranny of Shine Barrow. Support a leader people can believe in.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Turtle meat is expensive, and that's because it's illegal. But one man who got caught with it has found out how truly expensive it can be. Belizean fisherman Daniel Hughes is facing his first conviction after being caught with 14 pieces of turtle meat, which is prohibited by the Fisheries Department. The incident occurred in March of this year, where the turtle meat was found inside a cooler in his yard. Hughes appeared unrepresented in court today before Magistrate Manon Dennison, who read him a charge of possession of prohibited fish. That is 14 pieces of hawksbill turtle meat. He pleaded guilty and was fined $1,000 per piece of turtle meat, which totaled to $14,000 in addition to a $5,000 fine. So Hughes has to pay $19,000 in fines by July 31st of 2026 or face a year in prison. On October 1st, BWS submitted its 5-year business plan to the Public Utilities Commission, at the same time entering into a full tariff review proceeding. And it's making news because it asks for a 20% increase in rates to support a planned $130 million capital program. The company has not gotten a tariff increase since 2015, but this one is a big ask. Today we spoke via Zoom to the chairman in the presence of his chief operations officer. We asked him what the company will do if it doesn't get that 20% increase, because in some quarters of the media, it has been said that without the increase, BWS cannot sustain operations or fund critical upgrades. Here's what he said.
The interpretation has been taken that if you all don't get this increase, that BWS will run out of money. What's your response to that?
I think the heading was a bit misleading. BWS is a financially stable, in fact, one of the most financially stable water utility in the Caribbean region. Right? We are, I think, one of 2 utilities that actually makes a profit and does not rely on central government for any subsidies. What we were putting in our document, in our business plan, is that going forward, due to inflationary pressures that we've been feeling since 2020, capital expenditure projects, these major expansions, these residential areas that are popping up throughout the country, So all these expansions require a lot of capital expenditure. And for us to be able to do these major projects, of course, we will need some influx of revenue. As it is, our production costs has increased about 8.2% since 2020. Distribution costs, the distribution of water has increased another 6.2%. We also did a cost escalation on materials and projects. And what was found out is that since 2020 to 2024, materials have gone up by 95%. The cost of materials has gone up by 95%.
You all have asked for a 20% increase. Will your operations remain sustainable if you don't get that level of increase?
The operations can remain sustainable. What you will see is definitely a decrease in terms of water expansions. Also, when you look at other projects that may be beneficial in terms of not only expansion but expanding storage capacities. When you look at expanding redundancy wells, for example, so these are some of the things that may need to be curtailed. But definitely, in terms of operational expenditure, BWS can finance that, can sustain that. These are primarily capital projects that now are required from BWS by its consumers. What we are also looking at now is a more equitable tariff structure and also incorporating a social block component where we now would definitely look at the social needs of our consumers and how we could assist with that. No, it's not all about just increasing tariffs. BWS is always looking at ways on how to reduce costs, maintain tariff stability, or in some cases reduce tariff. They reduce the tariff that is being charged. I guess the natural reaction to everyone, and we're all consumers, is that we wouldn't want to see a tariff increase. But I think our job now is to convince the public that while a tariff increase is necessary, it does not necessarily mean that it's going to be a tariff that is going to remain there in perpetuity or expecting perpetual increases. In the past, BWS has seen tariff decreases in periods where the business plans have been submitted. Right, so I believe in 2012 they had a tariff decrease. Right, so there have been instances, but our job is now to explain to the public why the tariff increase is required, what are our plans for expansion, what we have done in the past 5 years, and show the growth potential for BWS.
And if you want to make your feelings on the proposed increases known, the PUC is holding a public hearing on Friday, October 17, 2025 at the Biltmore Plaza in Belize City starting at 6 p.m., where meeting BWSL will present its business plan to the Commission. Back in May 2022, Shireen Garbutt was granted permission to survey a 22.24-acre parcel of land in the Malacate area of Independence Village. She paid for the survey, which was conducted in August of 2022. 3 years later, she has still not been able to acquire a lease to the property. She made numerous trips to the Natural Resources Ministry to inquire about the status of her lease, only to later find out that it was sold this year to Charles Price, who she says is the brother of a top minister's driver. She's now calling on the government to compensate her, not just with the $6,500 for the survey, as they had initially offered her, but with another parcel of land in the same area. She explained the situation to us.
To my shock and dismay, I later discovered the land had already been sold and title to Mr. Charles Price on April 29, 2025. I also learned that Mr. Price is the brother of the Prime Minister's driver, which raised serious concern about political favoritism and a potential conflict of interest. It is particularly troubling that the survey I personally paid for was used in the issuance of this title to Mr. Price. I have documented communication with Mr. Brackett, who at one point acknowledged that the file was still under ministerial review. However, at this time, my inquiries were ignored. When my mother visited Lands Department, again, she was informed by a staff member that the land had already been sold, although they refused to disclose the name of the recipient. Eventually, we were able to confirm that the land was titled to Mr. Charles Price. I subsequently visited the lands department in Belmopan, but Mr. Brackett was unavailable. I was instead assisted by Mr. Jahan Graham, to whom I explained the entire situation. Mr. Graham indicated that he would look into the matter and consider compensation for the survey and traveling expense. However, after waiting for several weeks with no response, I had to follow up again, only to be sent a compensation agreement offering $6,500. I must stress that this offer is entirely unacceptable. I was granted official permission to survey this land based on the legal assurance. I have invested both my time and money to now be informed that the land has been granted to someone else, despite of my prior claim, is a clear violation due to process and undermines that the principle of legitimate expectation. Additionally, I was told that any potential compensation in the form of land will likely to be in coastal road area. However, this is unsuitable. I am a resident of Independence Village and I require land in the Malacat area, not miles away. I am therefore requesting that the government honor my legitimate expectation and either return the original 22.24 acres of land to me or provide a comparable parcel of land within the Malacate area, not in unrelated location.
She added that if she isn't compensated, she will be taking legal action. When we reached out to the CEO in the ministry, Paul Thompson, he explained that being granted permission to survey a parcel of land doesn't guarantee that the land will be sold or leased to a person. However, the ministry has agreed to meet with her, and she spoke to their legal counsel. Their counsel followed up on the $6,500 agreement in an email on September 17th, which Thompson said she never responded to. However, they are still willing to assist her, but the location of the land will depend on the value of the compensation. In August, we told you that activist Jerry Enriquez had filed a Freedom of Information request asking the Attorney General to disclose how much the government paid Courtney Koi LLP and Marine Parade Law Chambers, among others, basically to defend the electoral status quo and ensure that the general election, which had already been announced, proceeded as planned. These legal fees stem from the redistricting challenge that was in the courts just prior to the 2025 general elections. Well, that request was denied, and Enriquez took the appeal to the Ombudsman, who has 30 days to consider it. That expired today, and coming through in the clutch, the Ombudsman has now instructed the AG to provide the requested information. And what happens if they don't? Well, we spoke with Enriquez today via Zoom.
I see this as a great step forward. It is a step that is calling the Attorney General of Belize, so the accountability and transparency that they swear to uphold as part of their duties to the people of Belize. And we need to remember that it is the people who hired the government to do the job in line with the Constitution. And therefore, I expect that the Attorney General, in his wisdom, will not be playing political games and will very clearly, objectively pass on the information that the people deserve to know.
how soon should this be done, or within what time frame should this be done? And if it is not done, what happens next?
I hope that the Attorney General will do that as soon as possible. We have already delayed, we've given 14 days for them to provide that information and an additional 30 days for the Ombudsman to make this his analysis and decision. So we do not expect extended delays. Hopefully, we could get it within 2 weeks. That kind of information, as we had requested before, within the 2 week time frame. Whereas we are intending to take this further to court to ensure that we get the information. But I don't think that the Attorney General would like to get into that kind of situation. Honestly, he should just provide the information. There's no reason why he shouldn't. It is within the Freedom of Information Act for him to provide information.
But it may be in his interest to not ventilate that information, because then you have been saying that the government has weaponized taxpayers' funds against the interest of voters. Yes. By using those taxpayers' funds to pay for these elite attorneys. The government is in fact using taxpayer funds against the best interest, you argue, of voters. If these disclosures are made on the legal fees paid to these elite attorneys, then it will give the opponents of the government and yourself as well ammunition to say, look at what they are doing with your taxpayer dollars to ensure that elections are not fair, you will argue, as defined by the letter of the Constitution.
The Attorney General and the government have to remember that this is the people's money. It is not their money. We elect them to serve the people, and it is the people would like to know, how are you using our money? What are you spending to fight this case against the best interests of the nation, or to preserve the status quo? The people need to know, and the Freedom of Information Act provides for the people to know.
The Ombudsman says that he has, quote, recommended that the Attorney General reconsider his position and provide partial disclosure by releasing the names of the attorneys or law firms retained by the government that is of Belize in the relevant cases, and the total amounts paid to each attorney or firm from public funds. He advises Enriquez, quote, should the matter remain unresolved, you retain your right under Section 39 of the FOIA to seek redress before the Supreme Court of Belize. This favorable decision for the Ombudsman comes after a disappointing Friday in the Court of Appeal for Enriquez and his attorney, Anand Ramlogan. 3 appeals they had before the court arising out of the same election challenge were dismissed, all 3 on technicalities. Enriquez discussed it today and also went over a new leave for judicial review, which they launched today.
We will definitely take this all the way to the CCJ. As I said, justice has not been served. We're dealing with a lot of technical issues, while the core substantive issues remain. And if we continue like this, we will continue to erode the democracy of Belize and the democratic principles that are enshrined in our Constitution. And we must, as a citizen, I will have to see this through until justice is served. But also, we're also asking for a judicial review of the negligence of the Judicial and Legal Services Commission to follow through with an investigation, as we had requested, into the misconduct of the Justice Honduras. We've heard, just to say, the matter is being dealt with, but we do not know how it is being dealt with. We do not know what steps are being taken, what timelines we should expect. Nothing. Every time we hear from them is when I would have to write and find out what is going on, and all I would get is a very crisp reply saying, "Oh, we're dealing with the matter," but that does not say what that is doing, when it is going to be concluded. We haven't heard how it is happening at all.
We stress that there is only an allegation of misconduct against Justice Hondura made by Enriquez and his attorney. Looking now to the government, we were surprised to hear a few weeks ago that the chairman of the Firearms and Ammunition Control Board would be changed. From the inception of this entity, which was set up to create greater transparency and oversight in the issuance of gun licenses, Saldiva has been at the helm as chairlady. But last week, her minister told us that she's gotten too busy.
Yes, so the current CEO, and this is something that we had mentioned from the very outset when we created this board. The current CEO is the chair of it. It was taking up a lot of her time, I would say sometimes days in a particular week, so much so that she has asked to have someone else take over the rotation of the chairmanship. And so we're looking for a CEO to take up that charge. The other individuals on the panel, as you know, it's Magistrate Manon Dennison. He has indicated that he would like to remain, and Deputy Commissioner of Police Bart Jones, who I believe will also remain. And so the CEO who wants to focus on her other duties at the Ministry of Home Affairs, as you could imagine, with all that's happening right now, it is a lot, and New Growth Industries, she has asked for time to dedicate to that, and we put a new CEO in charge.
No replacement for Saldiva has yet been named. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll take you to the World Pediatrics Center for 60 Belizean children. Also, Budna's attorney tells us why he's also been able to get the surveillance video of his abduction. And government's Karzar gets even more stern with those who drive the B plates. We'll show you his latest memos. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
I'm Randall Friesen, and I manage Westbell Produce, better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high-quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high-quality, locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported, and we said, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly, and just overall, their service is excellent.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
It's been a busy couple of days for the nurses and staff at the Belize Specialist Hospital. They have been working with the doctors that came in as part of the World Pediatric Project to see a number of children and babies in need of special care in Belize. Jo Marie Lanza stopped by the clinic today to find out more about the services they have been offering in pediatric care during their visit. Here's that story.
The Belize Specialist Hospital has partnered with World Pediatrics to provide surgical interventions to 60 pediatric cases in Belize. The Alliance Medical Corporation has loaned them their facilities to carry out their work in Belize these past 4 days.
This year, we were glad to be able to provide them the space and the support of our crew and everybody else. So they are doing an amazing job with us. And not only in terms of business, because we're doing it practically pro bono, but because it's very beautiful to see the kids being helped or the whole country being supported in here. It was so interesting because they asked for a day, and now we are providing 4 days. So we are extending to 4 more days. We close all our business to be able to provide them the space to do the surgeries for 4 more days after that. And it's been a success. It's very heart feeling to come here. I've been here at nights and see the families, seeing the kids being helped and everything. So more than the business itself, it's interesting to see how can we help Belize in this case.
60 of these patients were screened at the KHMH this past Sunday, and now these children will be able to receive the specialist procedures that they are in need of. The office manager for World Pediatrics says that they are expected to conduct somewhere between 20 to 25 surgeries, depending on each case.
We're having our annual pediatric general surgery mission. We had our clinic on Sunday at the KHMH, where we screened all the patients. And from those patients, we decided which patients would be surgical candidates. And we're partnering with the Belize Specialist Hospital, where we're doing the surgeries here this week. So our patients are primarily from birth to 21 years. And we are here this week to do surgeries, pediatric cases that cannot be done by the local team here in Belize. So our team came in on Saturday, and like I said, we did the screening on Sunday, and we're here to do renal biopsies, bowel obstruction, gallstones, Hirschsprung's disease cases, gastroesophageal reflux cases. These are cases that are reviewed, and then they decide which surgeries will take place.
The clinic has been in operation since 2008, providing primarily gastrointestinal care, but have expanded their services since then. This expansion also includes their partnership in pro bono work with World Pediatrics.
We offer a wide range of services here at the hospital. We have a procedure room where we have most gastroenterology cases. We have an operating room where we perform a vast number of surgeries. We have a hospitalization room, consultation clinics, and a recovery area. We offer urology service, surgical services, admissions, emergency trauma, and we're open 24/7 for emergencies. The 6th day is closed. Those are the patients that have already been chosen, and they will be here for the remainder of the day up until tomorrow night. And after that, the clinic will be closed. So tomorrow is the 4th day. Tomorrow is the 4th day.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
There will be another clinic next year. Karzar Ashton Longsword continues his crackdown on the abuse of government vehicles. Yesterday, his Office of Assets and Utilities Management outlined a nationwide stop and check operation targeting all government-owned vehicles, motorcycles, and equipment to ensure that they are being used strictly for official duties. In an internal memo signed by Longsword, it says that officers will be inspecting key documentation, including valid driver's license, vehicle licenses, insurance, and operator's permits, visibility of license plates, department or ministry decals, proper use of logbooks, and authorization for operating vehicles outside regular working hours. The memo also clearly outlines prohibitions, warnings that unauthorized passengers such as family members or friends are not allowed in government vehicles. It also reiterates that tinted windows are banned except for limited rear window and top windshield tinting under strict conditions. The ministry emphasized that all government vehicles are to be used only for official government business and not for personal errands or transport. The Joseph Budna kidnapping surveillance videos, we've been talking about them for more than a month, demanding their release. So far, we have only learned that police refer to 2 videos in the Anderson investigation into the abduction. But Budna's attorney, Arthur Saldiva, also needs them to take to the court to provide proof that his client was kidnapped by police officers. But he says that he's learned that those who have or may have had access to the videos are afraid to release them.
It's not my call. You know, if it was me, I would have called Jules and yourself a long time ago, and we would have been watching that video. People are scared for their jobs, right? And they don't want to be victimized. I have tried, and I will continue to try, because the truth must be known.
You may have seen it in ads throughout the news, but Deputy Prime Minister Cordell Hyde was the commencement speaker at the University of Belize's 25th anniversary graduation ceremony that took place on Saturday. The minister addressed the graduates with words of encouragement, praise, and advice to stay the course, even when it's difficult. Here are a few of his remarks.
There is no way our ancestors would have survived those atrocities without each other. We could not have reached this day alone. We must honor our ancestors' memories by shedding the cloak of colonialism that still scar our collective psyche and keep us divided. We have to be there for each other. Don't take your titles and yourself too seriously. Success and titles and defeat are imposters. They don't last forever. Who you are deep down inside, now that's forever. Your family is forever. Your community is forever. Love is forever. So love deeply. Love people more than things. Love your family. Love your friends. Love your community. Love your country. Love yourself, because you matter. Through the darkest of times, love will carry us through. Life is not just about money, as important as that is. It's not about how many cars you drive or the size of your house, as nice as that is. It's about how you make people feel, how you make others around you better, how you make the space around you better. It's about relationships, about living each day like it's your last. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, thank God, always thank God. We are nothing without Him.
The graduation was over 5 hours long. You can see the stream on UB's Facebook page. And that ends our newscast for tonight. Thanks for watching. With your news, I'm Indra Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook or YouTube pages. Have a pleasant evening and join me back here tomorrow at 6.